Here to help you, but
You're here to help.
you always cut me off. You never allow any of us to be part of your conversation. I was the one that spoke with you at that cashier.
You had me hemmed up in
and
that
I
corner,
told you
yes.
I would never be able to personally hand you your bill, which you asked me to do. We have documented in here that I told you, no, I will not personally hand deliver you the bill. So now you're telling me
you're lying.
Two things. Listen to my two
You
things.
lie a lot. That's why I cut you off,
two
because you
things.
lie.
I told you I would never be able to do that. We don't do that with any other
You
members.
didn't. You told me you would have the guy in
Second
Dade
part of our
City
conversation
personally
when you were-
send it every month. What's the second part?
Second part of the conversation, we had a great conversation over there, you and I. And you were
Where
going-
you threatened to call the sheriff's department once
So,
again.
Let's have this conversation.
So that's a great conversation. That's what you do to people you
let's-
try to have conversations with. You
Let's
call the
have
sheriff.
this conversation, please. Let's please try to communicate so I can at least have a discussion with you without you stopping me. The second part of our conversation was I asked you, I said, please, you thought we were going to change out your meter to an AMI. We did not change your meter out to an AMI. Let me please finish. The conversation I had over there with you and Ann, I asked you, please go out, and if you see I'm not aware of any other special meter out of 83,500 customers in Hernando County that has a special meter in it that you thought we had.
So you know the
Wait a
reason.
minute, I asked you. I said you said
I know.
you had a whole list. You've seen them at Neighbors. You've seen them.
Yep.
You did not provide me one
You know
single
why?
piece of information.
You know why?
I don't know why.
Because
haven't been
it
able
is
to
my
communicate
belief that if I sent you the list of all of the analog meters, that you would go in and have them all replaced.
But
And I'm not going to allow you to do that to people that I care about.
So let's go back to that. So if you would have provided me that information, and I would have done that, then I would have not been doing my job.
No, you would have been calling it upgrades to the system.
Conversation, we don't have any other meters. We don't.
What are you? You have 3 different meters. Well, you have 4 different
We
meters.
probably have 7, 8 different types of meters.
You
There's
just said you
three-phase
don't.
Meters, there's single-phase meters. There's demand meters. You
just
asked
said
me.
you don't. You said you don't have multiple different
For
types of meters.
residential, we have 2 types of meters. We have a prepaid meter where people can prepay, which we offered to you. We had prepaid.
No, you
meters,
tried forcing
and we
it to
have
me
the
through the sheriff's
standard
department being at
residential
my
meter.
house.
We have a standard residential meter and an AMI
Would
meter.
you like to clarify that statement where you tried forcing me to put it onto my house by calling the sheriff's department?
That was a conversation where we were going to put in a prepaid meter for you.
Yes,
Correct. That
and
was
who
part of
did
our
you call
conversation.
out there to try to
Because
force
we
me
had
to do
have-
that?
We never forced you. We had to have access
Right.
to your property, and you are not the first member we've ever done that.
And
For
does
us to have
that
access to your
record
property, at
information
times
of
we need to be
usage?
escorted by a deputy.
Does that record information on usage and send it back to the office? And do you guys store it in data collection?
We store all of our readings in data collection.
I don't agree to that. That's illegal collection under my 4th Amendment right. That's why I do
Well,
not consent to
then
that.
That's probably something you would need to, take up.
That's
with the
why I
sheriff's
sent
department.
you the paperwork I did.
I read your paperwork, but it does not. The meters that we use do not do what you said.
You just
You
said
said
that
in
they
your
do.
report.
You just
We
said
col-
that they
we-
collect data and you store it.
We collect every single reading on every member out of 253,000 members a month. We go out and get their reading and store it in our billing.
And who do you sell it to?
Why would we sell that information?
Because it's valuable.
To who?
Your third party sells it.
Who's our third party?
Your billing agency, who you use as your...
We
they
bill-
store everything for you and then they sell it.
So how?
See, you don't even understand how your own business works.
So listen.
How are you the manager?
We do all of our own billing.
No, you don't.
Yes,
It's a
we
third
do.
party out of Orlando. No,
So
you
they
don't.
send the bills, but we
No, you
actually,
don't. I've already spoke to them.
I know you have.
And you
asked them.
don't do the billing. They do.
They send the bills.
No, they
We
have
create-
all of our information.
We create all of the billing, and they send our bills. So all of our database.
So my
is-
information doesn't go to them.
their billing information goes to them. So you can, so they can, they.
And
they
what
do
all
the-
does that entail?
They do the mailing.
What all does that entail? Usage, dates and times
Ev-
of usage, name,
take care of the
address,
bill.
all of that. So then you sell it to people,
We don't-
and then
they're
carefully they
they're
can
a
pick through it
contractor
and,
that
determine
contract
what
the
you're
work
doing
out.
on your day-to-day
They con-
routine.
You know,
You don't understand how these things work. I don't know, you're too antiquated for your own position. But you need to understand
So-
how this stuff works.
so I would think, just like I would ask you to do a little more research, because just like you said, how we manage our
I'll
meters.
do even more than
and
if
never
you'd like.
was able to provide me one piece of information from one other type of meter out there. So I think you might want to do your homework. I've been doing this for 30
So why
years.
don't
So
why do
think
I
know
have to
how our
provide
business runs.
the safety sheets for you and your business when you should already have all of that for your linemen? You're blasting these guys when they're swapping out meters, and there's literal peer-reviewed studies on this stuff, and you have no
Do you know what
idea
it's called?
about it.
Do you know what it's called?
What-
You've done a lot
what-
of
what
research.
is
What
called?
is it called? What are you talking about? That it's blasting. What is it called?
Electromagnetic radiation?
Field. So,
Radiation?
yes, and so
Yeah, radiation,
why
it causes DNA damage. It causes thyroid problems.
That's probably that's what's written.
You
That's what's written. We've only had, listen.
see, you don't know me, but it's funny because I've been in the gas industry for over 10 years, which I told you that before.
Yeah.
But my family's retired from FP&L. I've got a bunch of people that have been on offshore rigs and in the oil and power industry. You talk to me like I'm an idiot. And I think it's funny because I can read all these papers and I could tell you all kinds of stuff, but no amount of information will ever convince you because it doesn't seem to me like you care.
Well, we've tried to work with you, and most times you're unreasonable, and that's why we're going to have you no trespass.
So these extortion charges are unreasonable?
You will be paying those fees.
I'll be paying what? The extortion
You called
charges?
them extortion fees. You will be paying.
They
those.
are.
You will be paying those, every fee that you have, which is including.
Why
the
don't you take it
collection
out of
fee.
that deposit, that however $600 or $800 that you guys have of mine? Now you're a bank. I need to see a banking contract. If you're taking deposits, we'll get into UCC code. And do you know about UCC code
do
for the
not know
bank
about
that you're
UCC code.
running?
Why don't you write the?
I'll bring
person
all
out.
the. Oh, I can't bring the books in next time because you're too scared
We
to
are-
see them. So you're going to trespass
So,
me.
yeah, that's.
Coward.
if that-
Have a
if
nice
it-
day.
if it
Have a
would've
great
been
weekend.
Something so important to you, would have already bought it.
No, I didn't think I needed the banking
You will be
code book
visited
to
with
have
the
it
Sheriff's
to
Department
have
soon,
an
and we will have you
operation
no
today.
trespass here at all. You will not be allowed to be in our building anymore.
And
We
why
are
is
not
that?
gonna- We are not going to do this every month with you.
What threat am I to you to be trespassed? What damage have I caused to be
Because
trespassed?
you've come in here and you're very unreasonable, and you have created issues. You have.
And that's
made
a
some of
law?
These ladies feel that they are not comfortable talking to you. You created an atmosphere that is uncomfortable, and you will no longer be allowed to be here.
I don't work for you guys. That's not part of my policy. Is that a law? Did I break a
Pay
law?
your bills on some other fashion. There is the night drop.
Did I
Pause box. You
did
can
I
put a
break
check
the
in
law?
there. No, you didn't.
Okay, thank you.
That-
Have a nice
the
day.
Sheriff's Department